Good morning. Let's see. Let's see. Let me turn off my. All right. Let's see. It's Friday. Woohoo, weekend. Let's see. See what we have going on today. I'm going to just make sure I can see the chat on my phone. All right. Okay. So let's see how things are going to be today. Modest movement following a tech-driven rally. Okay, that makes sense. That pushed major indices to all new highs. The latest market indices reflect these ongoing shifts. Okay. Okay, so nothing crazy or different today. Nothing crazy or different. Let's take a look at so the S&P finished up yesterday. That's good, right? We're on an upward trend right now. That's great. It's the last trading day of the month, so I'm going to be red this month. I'm still down like $190. I flipped things around this week, but it's okay. Not soon enough, but that's fine. I'm really happy that things seem to be turning around a little bit. Okay, so S&P's up. Let's see. Just kind of curious what's going on. And yep, just checking out some stuff on the scanners. Let's see, STG. Oh, wow. That's kind of weird. Oh, right at 659. There's a big spike. Sunlands Technology. Let's see. What are they up to? Announced that its board of directors has approved a share repurchase program to buy back $50 million of its Class A ordinary shares in the form of American depository shares over the next 36 months. Oh, okay. Equity transfer agreement with Suzhou Guangzhou Medical Technology. Okay. See, they're hard to borrow. Under 20 million shares outstanding. Low relative volume, though. Really low relative volume. Let's see. CYCU popped up, but again, low relative volume. But QTEX keeps going up, huh? Just keeps going up. Took 2 trades on it yesterday. Try to get this drawing off. On it. Won't pull off the drawing. Oh well, that's fine. So yeah, it keeps running up. Let's see. It's a Friday. It's almost summer, so I'm expecting it to be kind of slow today. See, NEXR, low float. The relative volume's up there. Same thing with PRFX, but PRFX is definitely on the downward. I must have been looking at that in the after hours. But NEXR, same thing. I must have been looking at that another time. So I don't know, CYCU, but ooh, yuck. Wow, yeah, that's ugly. Let's see. STG, this is probably, I'm just going to see if any of these are easy to borrow. Let's see. Nope. Okay. So STG, float under 20 million, or shares outstanding under 20 million. Low relative volume, but this is just kind of weird though, right? This spike up right at 659. So one of the things oh, good morning, Scooter. Hey. One of the things I'm working on this week is working on trend lines and support and resistance. And so you'll see me drawing a lot of like lines on my chart with, oh my God, I was doing yard work yesterday and I swear to God, like I don't take allergy meds because I feel like it makes me too foggy, but my eyes are running constantly because I feel like it gets on every, like, you know, the pollen and everything. I feel like I track it inside the house when I come back in. So you're going to see me drawing a lot of trend lines and support and resistance lines. And that's basically one of the big things I'm working on this week. And that's been awesome. It has really changed the way I am trading in a big way. So I've been thinking about what my goal is going to be for next week to work on. And I'm thinking I want to really work on understanding liquidity. That might be my goal for next week. I don't know. I'll pick it by Sunday because I set my goal for Monday on Substack. So I give myself the weekend to kind of mull it over. But I'm thinking I really want to get a better understanding of liquidity in the market. So I think that might be a good goal for next week to go over liquidity. Okay, so things kind of popped up, but now it's back below this level here. CLIK. Oops. Okay. Popped up and pretty much made a round trip right back down. Hard to borrow. Let's see. 3 million shares. Low relative volume, but okay. It's just really popping right back down. Which pair? Oh, I'm not trading Forex. I am trading small cap momentum stocks. So not trading Forex. Yep. I didn't get on AMD yesterday. Did you, Scooter? Let's take a look at it. Yep, I am trading small cap momentum stocks. I don't do Forex. That's interesting. There must be a platform that looks like Thinkorswim for Forex. I mean, I know you can do Forex on Thinkorswim, but yeah, wow, really popped up. Did you get in on it, Scooter? No, yesterday I did, let's see, what did I work on yesterday? Yesterday was like a really great day for me. I had 2 trades during the live stream. I traded SPRC during the live stream. And then I had, after the live stream, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little green trades. These were really tiny, but MASK, I got some, 10 cents a share, really good. Getting rid of bull flag pullbacks has been a game changer for me, for sure. I'm just trying to focus on the setups that are working for me. I went back and looked at all my data. Let's see, OLOX, W, what was that? Just popped up. WNW? Is that what that is? Let's take a look. Okay, so let me regroup it. Oh, PRFX is trying to make a run back up. Let's see. Okay, shares under 20 million. Same thing for WNW, low share, low float. Whoops. I hate when it does that. When it's flipping position, sometimes it like deletes it. That's so annoying. Okay. WNW. Let's see, I've got too many things on here right now. I'm going to take QTEX off. AMD, I don't, that's too much per share for me. I started trading in February last year, but with a simulator. I switched to real money in July, but I wasn't really putting a lot. I mean, I was putting partial effort in because I had other commitments. I was doing other things, and in about November, I started sitting down every day for 4 hours in front of the charts. So I committed fully to it in November. So I would say about 6 months I've been committed to it fully. But I've been day trading. Of course, I've been doing other kinds of investing for years, but I've been day trading since last February. But I did only use a simulator until July. I didn't start flipping to real money until July. And I wish I had traded in the simulator longer, honestly. And yep, I've been giving it full effort. Hey, James, good morning. I've been giving it full effort since about November. I said, okay, I'm really going to give this a chance. I'm going to sit down every day. So I've been sitting here every day, every morning. And then I started live streaming about 2 months ago. And I wish I had started earlier because it's changed my trading a lot. And it's forced me to be accountable to you guys and to really analyze every single thing I do. All right, so CYCU, wow, that made a round trip. So I'm still a new trader. I'm not consistently profitable yet. I'm learning. I'm learning in public, okay? So you're watching me struggle through the learning process. And I'm learning from you guys, and hopefully you'll learn something from my successes and failures. I feel like I made a learning leap this week. I feel like I made a big learning leap as far as looking back at my data. For the last 2 months, I'd been tracking my setups, and when I looked back at the data, it was pretty shocking. The setups that I thought were my best setups were costing me the most money. So now I'm focusing on the setups that I had good accuracy and better profitability on. So, and yep, just continuing to evolve and really trying to get, consistently profitable. I'm going to consider myself a new trader until I am consistently profitable. And I'm not sure, I guess, stocks with Josh. Okay, I'll check that out. Thanks, Scooter. That's something that you guys have really helped me with. And I'm sure if I'm curious, it's great when you put this stuff in the chat, Scooter, because then other people are learning too, because I've found some great channels from suggestions that you guys have made. I was just watching earlier before I hopped on. It was the Trading Geek. I was watching one of his videos on support and resistance because that's my goal this week. I post over on Substack about my weekly goal. And this week, my weekly goal is working on trend lines, support, and resistance. So I was just watching one of his videos on support and resistance. And very, very helpful. So I wrote that down. I always put all your suggestions in my notebook. And then this is where I keep all my notes, but then I transfer my trades to an app to track, to analyze. So you'll see me drawing more support and resistance lines. All right, so WNW, this doesn't have new news, but let's see. Only 1.3 million shares outstanding, so it has a low float. I don't see relative volume popping up, so I don't know why that's happening, but all right, so we have a high at 660. This is interesting. There must have been a split or something here. Oh, I must have traded it. I traded it last week. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm working on now, is just kind of looking at levels of support and resistance, and my setups that I'm looking for are generally high of day breakout, flat top breakout, break of a whole or half dollar, breaks of levels of resistance. I'm looking at momentum going up. The setups that were not working for me were all breakouts after a pullback. So I I let that go. I'm like, it wasn't working for me. So yeah, those are my main setups. So I'm using small cap momentum. That's what I'm working on. Small cap momentum stocks, and I'm looking at breakouts over points of resistance. So I know, Scooter, seriously. Keep the suggestions coming, and then, I check out the channels and I subscribe to the ones that seem like they work for me. So don't worry about overloading me. I'll just, I'll filter out the ones that don't feel like a great fit, and I'll just kind of subscribe to the ones that look like a good fit. And then I still have everything in my notebook. So if later on I go back, I can say, oh, wait, there was that thing that someone suggested. Maybe I'll check that out. So I keep a record of it in my notebook. Like, I still have my old one. So, I write it down, and then if, that way I can always go back and look. All right, so this one, I wouldn't trade it unless it broke over high of day here. That's what I would be looking for. But now it broke this level here, because I would say that this was resistance here, but now it's support. So I would look for a break of high of day. I'm going to be trading less than I was because of the fact that I eliminated some of my setups. So, and I'm fine with that. You know, hey, Spidey, good morning. So, yeah, so I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Ayushrajan, I don't want to butcher your name. So that's pretty much what I do right now. But I'm evolving. I'm a new trader. I'm constantly evolving. Like I just got rid of one, my bull flag pullback setup. But I was not having a lot of success with it. The data was telling me that that was not my setup. I was losing money on it. So, and my accuracy was poor. So I am letting the data drive a lot of my decisions instead of feeling, I mean, I want to feel good about things, of course, but I'm really letting data drive a lot of my decisions. And so, yeah. Like I'll show you, I've been showing you guys I'm over on Substack and I post let me pull up my Substack. Just got to sign in. And I'll show you the data that I've been using I only have been tagging my setups for the last 2 months, but boy, I really recommend doing that. It was really eye-opening to see what the data was telling me as far as what I'm doing well and not doing well. So here, some of you have seen this, but this is my most recent post over on Substack. And I took the last 2 months of data for the setups that I was working on. And you can see here my pullback, my bull flag pullback. And this is 105, I think 105 trades. So it's a lot of data points. It's a statistically significant amount of data points for the bull flag pullback. And you can see that my accuracy was only 53%, and I lost the most amount of money on that trade. So I've eliminated the bull flag pullback from my, and my 2 worst trades were both breakouts over pullbacks. For some reason, I'm not getting it. And so I'm working on the ones that I was doing the best on, which are breakouts over points of resistance. So Palantir, right? And UMAC. Let's see, UMAC. Whoops. UMAC. What's UMAC? Unusual max. Interesting. Unusual machines. Oh, drones. That sounds great. That sounds great. That's priced a little high for me. And of course, Palantir, PLTR is Palantir, right? That's, of course, too pricey for me. Yeah. So I generally trade stocks under $20. I'm really trying to stick to $10. I didn't get a chance to look it up. I'm sorry, Spidey. I've been so busy. I had a lot of other commitments yesterday, but it is, like I said, it's in my notebook. So when I don't have time to look something up right away, I can go back and look it up. Now, yeah, yesterday, I've been really busy this week with other commitments. So I just need like 4 more hours in my day. If you guys could just make some adjustments to the space-time continuum so that I can just have like a 28-hour day so that I can do everything, that would be great. Thanks. But like I said to Scooter, I write everything down. So the things that I don't have a chance to look at right away, I have a record of it. So I do have it down here. Google baby shelf requirements for the shelf related to shelf registrations. I remember that conversation yesterday. So that way I don't have to rely on my memory, you know? I'm 55, so I'm not going to try to remember everything, but hopefully I'll get to it over the weekend. So usually on the weekends is where I try to catch up on stuff that you guys suggest. Although this weekend I'm packing. I'm going to Vegas next week, and I will be trading from Vegas and live streaming from there, hopefully, assuming the internet's fine. We're staying at a nice hotel, so I'll be live streaming Wednesday through Friday there. Tuesday, I will not be live streaming because I'll be on a flight, but I will post. I have a video already scheduled to come out, so for you guys. But yes, so keep the suggestions coming. Keep them coming. Okay, so RCAT. Let's take a look at that. RCAT. Oops. My C button is, I have to get my compressed air. Okay. All right. It's over $10, so I'm going to be a little bit more cautious. I'm trying to stick to under 10 if I can right now, just to kind of reduce my exposure, you know what I mean? But so let me take a look. These are all things I've been looking at this morning. You know, they all have, well, RCAT has a much larger float too. So this is a bigger float than I would generally tend to trade. I've been trying higher float stocks, not doing so well on them, but I love drone stuff. Anything drones, I mean, that's obviously the wave of the future. That's the new war zone, right? So, I mean, between that and the internet, those are the two, that's the new field of war, right? So, of course, that's incredibly relevant right now with what's going on in the world. Yeah, anything drones is awesome. But I probably, it has two, I mean, it's not like I don't have, I've become a lot more flexible on my rules. And I'm less rigid about things, more adaptable the longer I'm trading. So it's not that I wouldn't trade something with a larger float or over $10, but it's like, okay, it has a larger float and it's over $10. So now I'm kind of like, all right, you know. And what I'm really realizing about trading is that we're all looking at the same charts and we're all seeing something different. And, you know, one person is going to do amazing on a stock and another person is not going to do well on that same exact stock. So what works for one person doesn't work for another. But the relative volume is more than 5 times the 50-day average. I've got this column that I added here with some ThinkScript. And that was a game changer because I knew you could add ThinkScript for the scanners on, and I have some custom ThinkScript here for some scanners that I set up. But I didn't know until last week that you can also create custom columns on the watch list with ThinkScript. I'm like, that is awesome. I mean, I think that's great. All right, so STG, this really didn't do much. It's kind of slow moving. OLOX, this looks good. It has low float, tons of volume, relative volume. The relative volume is really high. Look at this. It just made a breakout, totally missed it. Is this high of day? I don't know why sometimes it doesn't show what high of day is. That's annoying. All right, so there's a window back to like here, 1165. Like something like this is getting close to $10. But it has really low float, high relative volume. I don't see, well, okay, what's this? The news. So this surged after. Was this the one that was really blew up after hours last night? It had an acquisition. There was a stock that I completely missed. I trade in the after hours sometimes. And I know there was something that I missed. So charting is subjective, right? It is. So, you know, I'm trying to just every week focus on something to study. And oh, it looks like it's moving up off support. Yeah, and so next week I'm thinking I feel like I need to learn more about liquidity, so that might be my goal for next week. But I usually decide over the weekend, and then sometimes when I'm writing my Monday post on Substack, I'm like, that's not the right goal for this week. And I look at my data and I see like, what am I struggling with? What do I need to learn more about? And you guys are helping with that, because when I think back about our chats and the conversations, then I think, oh, that's something I should really learn about. So this might break high of day. Okay, so this is, I probably got out way too soon, okay, but I've had a really rough 2 months, so I'm being really cautious. And then I realized once I got in that I probably should have waited for it to break over 10. So I saw this window at 1165. So I probably should have waited for it to break over 10, because that would be a natural point of resistance, right? The whole dollar psychologically. So first trade, green trade, woohoo. Okay, so let's see. Trade number one. I mean, I will transfer these to my, so I was using Trader View, which is great, but honestly, not being consistently profitable, the expense was getting too much. So I am checking out TradesViz and I'm really liking it. And that's a lot cheaper. So I'm probably going to do that. So this was a high of day breakout. But I think I should have maybe waited for, should I have waited for the break over 10? Because, you know, I was looking to get in right at the break over high of day, which is 9.89. And it occurred to me once I got in, like, oh, there could be resistance at $10. That was a great trade for me. 28 cents a share. Woohoo! All right, so that was OLOX, 28 cents a share. So yeah, and this is one of the setups that I found. If you look at my data, high of day breakouts, I had 67% accuracy. I barely broke even, but I didn't have a lot of them. It was like, I want to say it was a low data point set, but high accuracy. So, oh, another break of high of day. It's getting a little expensive. It's not that I won't get in, but I think I'd rather be cautious and trade stuff under $10 unless I feel really confident about it. I mean, I do think that this has the potential to keep going up for a while. When I was watching, I didn't get a chance to finish it this morning, but I was watching the Trading Geeks video on support and resistance, and he was saying like one of the big mistakes that traders do is have too many lines on their chart. And I was like, I did that yesterday. I had like so many price levels on my chart. Wow, this is just going up and up. Up and up and up. But I think I'm going to be really conservative about it. But this is the kind of stuff I'm looking for. Things that have, you know, this upward momentum. And I'm just trying to get in for high of day. So if I were going to get back in, I would try to look for a break over high of day. But I feel like, I don't know, I don't really want to wreck my, I'm starting off on a good foot today, guys. So what I used to do, okay, is I used to try to get in off the pullback, but I was getting so many false breakouts. I just didn't seem to understand when it was a real breakout and when it was a false breakout. And I was just getting too many rejections. News embargo and how it relates to stock trading. Stocks with Josh. News embargo. Okay, cool. You guys are giving me all kinds of homework. I love it. Because seriously, I've learned so much just from stuff that you guys are putting in the chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I have that now on my list. I've got my homework. So, you know, the other thing I'm working on is looking for levels of support and resistance. So here, now, again, I'm not an expert at it. This is just like what I'm working on. But it looks to me like this was a level of resistance, but now it could be a level of support. And I'm looking for stocks where that's just going up and up and up. And I know that it's not going to be that many stocks every day, but honestly, I'd rather have 1 or 2 green trades a day than have 15 trades and be red. I mean, I'm not trying to just keep busy, you know? And, you know, there are days where I overtrade and it's like I always regret it. If it's hot, I should be trading for sure. But overtrading, ooh. I don't have a Discord. I'm new. Also, for the record, guys, I'm 55. I'm still learning YouTube. Okay. My kids don't let me use the remote control for the television in the TV room. So I'm still learning, but maybe when I grow bigger, I don't know. But yeah, I'm still in the beginning stages of this. I'm still learning the live streaming thing. Okay, PRFX. That's just not looking good to me. It looked like it tried to make a recovery, and I don't have VWAP on my chart right now because I've taken most of the indicators off so that I can focus on price action, tape reading, and level 2. But if I were going to guess, I would say it might be around here. That would be my guess. All right, STG, I don't know. I'm going to keep that on. I feel like that might pop back up. WNW, that has, no, I'm not feeling it. Let's see, NEXR, good relative volume, but a downward trend. I haven't learned reversal trading yet, so I'm not looking at that. Same thing with CYCU. RCAT, that looks like it's got some movement, but again, it's too high for me. STG, I'll keep on. OLOX seems to be the one that has some potential for me, but like I said, it's getting a little up there in price. I get nervous. No, I don't have a Twitter. All I have right now for trading is because I do have other things that I do outside of trading. All I have right now for trading is YouTube and Substack. So I'm over on Substack. Trade with Raven over on Substack. I have a publication over there where I just document my trading goals. And then this, yeah. I don't have anything else yet for this. I do other stuff, like I'm an author and I'm also a coach for athletes. So I have a lot of other commitments, but yeah, not yet, but we'll see. Maybe in the future, if this keeps growing. Yeah, I've had a couple of people ask me about Discord. But also, to be honest, I'm kind of a minimalist, so I like to keep things simple. I'm already live streaming every day and doing a recap every day, and then I do videos for the weekend, and so I'm pushing out a lot of content, I think, for a lady my age. Okay, so I'm looking here. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's pulling back now. So maybe I know I left money on the table. That is a chronic problem that I have. When I look at my data, obviously loss is too big, winner's too small. Classic new trader problem. So I'm really working on both of those things, of course, but I've noticed that with the support and the resistance strategy that I'm employing right now, breaks over resistance, the stop seems more obvious. It's like, oh, well, if it goes past the previous level of support, then, that seems a lot more obvious to me. Oh, it broke high of day again. Wow. It broke high of day. This could be a terrible idea. A lot of, yeah, a lot of. Oh, thanks, Spidey. You too. Just really watching the tape and the level 2 and just really trying to see what's going on. So now it broke below 11 again. It's kind of hovering. It was hovering around 11 for a while. I think I'm going to get stopped out, possibly. All right, I'm out. All right. OLOX, high of day. It broke out, but I don't know. It hit that level of support, so I'm out. And you know, the topping tail is what gave me concern. I should have, that was giving me a lot of concern. All right, that's so that was in the negative. Oh man. Okay, so that is negative $1.13. No, wait, that was more than that because, let's see, let me, I'm going to transfer this to, why is this showing yesterday? There we go. There we go. Export to file. All right. No, cancel. I'm just going to import them so I can see exactly how much that was. Upload. All right. So that was in a minute. Oh. All right, let's see. Okay, so that was minus 142 a share. Oh, that's brutal. See, my winners, I'm glad I got out when I did, though. I am glad that I got out when I did. But I'm still struggling with support and resistance to know should my stop be the low of like the previous support, you know? And also, this is what I'm kind of struggling with. And this is what this is where I was kind of confused when I was getting in on the trade. And now I'm looking at it and now it seems so obvious. Previous resistance should have been support. I screwed it up. I shouldn't have, once it broke this level, I should have just gotten out. Well, that was a costly lesson. This wasn't my stop down here. This was my stop. This right here. The previous resistance is the new level of support. So this was my stop. So I got in at 12, I think. I should have gotten out when it broke 1184. All right, you guys, this is learning in public. This is what happens when you're learning in public. All right. KIDZ. No. So yeah, that should have been more obvious. This was my stop, not down here. This was the previous level of support, but for this, but this should have been my level of support for the new move. And the fact that it didn't go above that should have been my cue. Well, that was a costly lesson, but it is a lesson nonetheless. I would rather, honestly, I mind, of course, losing money, but the problem that I have is when I don't know why. Like with the bull flag pullbacks, looking back, I mean, the data is telling me what's happening, but I honestly was confused about why they weren't working. But now this seems so obvious. Of course, it seems obvious now. The lessons will keep coming until I learn them, right? The lessons will just keep coming. All right. So, I don't know. It's a Friday. I may not get another chance to redeem myself, but and you know, I had this feeling when it was struggling here at 11. I was like, you know what? It's struggling here at 11. I should just get out now. And then I thought, but this is the level of support, but this wasn't the level of support. First of all, so now I'm kind of going through. The live stream is over. Take my toys and go home. You know, that is tempting, but the whole point of me doing the live stream initially, honestly, was to put myself under a little bit of pressure. And well, the live stream is over. No, I think, you know, I'm looking at this. I'm really trying to take emotion out of it, which is very difficult because I get really mad when I make a dumb mistake, and that is a dumb mistake. But the first thing I did was, you know, I got in. That's fine. I don't think that was a mistake. But I think that I misunderstood the levels of support and resistance. I think that once it broke this 1184 level, I should have stopped out. The second time where I had a chance to get out was here when it was hesitating at 11. And I didn't get out there. So I actually had 2 chances to get out. And I didn't do it. So, and the thing is, if I just look at purely at exit indicators, the price dropped, obviously, a potential exit indicator. And then the price hesitating here, that should have told me, like, get out. Just get out. Like, what was the price that I actually stopped out at? 1070. So, because I had the wrong stop, okay? So I was using this, and of course, when I hit this level, I got out in my mind, when I said I was going to get out. I agree. That's the thing, right? At a certain point, we'll internalize it. But, you know, the problem is that I'm doing it live. And that can be really embarrassing, but this is what it is. Yeah. But I mean, I think, like, looking at what I did, I think I understand what I did wrong this time. First of all, I was looking at the wrong stop. This should have been my stop. That absolutely should have been my stop. But I had also another clue that it was struggling to get over 12. So actually, that's the second sign. Maybe the first sign, okay, I think I got in right, but the first sign was that it was struggling to get over 12. I know. That's why I love Ross, because he's really upfront about it. And that kind of gave me the courage to be like, I'm just going to do this and put my mistakes out there. I'm not pretending to teach anybody, but I'm hoping that people will learn through my successes and failures, and that hopefully through this struggle, I will become consistently profitable. To be honest, this is my first red trade since Wednesday day when I decided to take my bull flag pullbacks off the table. This is my first red trade since I did that. And I think it was just a misunderstanding of where my stop should be. And then I did see the price hesitation at 12, but I misunderstood the stop. So I was thinking, I have so much more room to go to give it some more room to breathe. So I want to make sure when I put it in my notes that I understand what I did wrong. Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it's embarrassing, but I think the most important piece is that I understand what I'm doing wrong and I document it, because if I hadn't been documenting everything, then I wouldn't have known that my bull flag pullbacks were not working. So, okay, first mistake, wrong stop. Second mistake, I ignored the price hesitation at $12. I saw it, I noticed it, but I had the wrong stop. The third point at which I could have, it went below my stop, so I ignored that. And then the fourth one, I had another chance when it hesitated at 11. Okay, so yes, it stinks, but honestly, I actually, to give myself a pat on the back, I did get out at the stop that I thought I was supposed to get out at. So, yeah, that was a bit of a learning experience. But yeah, I'm not going to just throw in the towel after one trade. Honestly, I've had really good trades during the market and after market the last 2 days. So I'm not too upset about it. So this is where I'm standing today. I'm red on the day, okay? And, you know, we'll just see if there are any more opportunities that come up. But I'm not going to overtrade. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not going to try to make it back desperately. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to, you know, take it one step at a time. STG, I really don't think is going anywhere, but KIDZ. KIDZ, I don't know. It looks really, I don't know. I don't like it. And it's a penny stock, which I don't do great on. So I'm going to take that off the table. So yeah, this was a good lesson, I think. I think this was a really good lesson. And like I said, the main thing for me is that I understand what I'm doing wrong. Like when I went back and really looked at my bull flag pullback trades, I didn't understand why I was getting so many false breakouts, so many rejections. At least here, I understand what I did wrong. That is the most important thing, because I feel like, how are we going to make progress if we don't understand it? And the thing is, having the live stream and having to do the recaps and having you guys keep me accountable has been honestly good, because I have to analyze every single trade. I can't run from it, you know? So, but now, if I had if I had set my stop at the proper place and I saw price hesitation at 12, that would have been the first exit indicator. And then when it went below my stop, I would have gotten out at 11.80. So that would have been about 30 cents a share loss. And that would have been an acceptable loss. So I think what I should have done, and this is where, like, I don't understand how people cannot analyze their trades, because how are you going to improve if you don't know what you did wrong, right? I mean, correct? All right, so what I should have done is I should have seen the price hesitation at 12. That would have been the first exit indicator, right? And then 2, when it dropped below the stop, the proper stop at 11.84, then I should have gotten out. And then it would have been a reasonable loss. But the thing is, now I'm looking at it, and again, I'm really like new to understanding resistance and support. But yeah, I mean, now it looks pretty clear that it never really got going. Of course, it's clear in hindsight. Everything is clear in hindsight. So let's see. I don't see much else popping up. Let me look at, oh, GRAN. Let's see. GRAN. No. That briefly popped up, but pre-market high. A lot of these are popping up, but they're not really doing anything. No. No. Yeah, STG, I just don't think it's going to do much today. But I don't know. It could break out. I think OLOX could still possibly make a break for high of day, but now this seems to be a level of resistance right here. So IOTR, MASK. Oh, MASK is making some moves today, but slow. Well, no, wait, the relative volume's up. Let's see. PRZO, but the float's a little high, and it's a penny stock. So SNYR, YYGH, CGTL. So if I look at this on the 5-minute chart, that's a lot clearer. Wow. That is a lot clearer. The other thing I'm working on is drawing trend lines. So seems pretty obvious it's on a trend down, right? And you know what I think I did wrong too? Good morning, Aligos. I think I rushed into it. I think I did. I think I was rushing because I was like, oh, it broke over high of day, but I really didn't look to just make sure I had the right points of resistance. And so yeah, Aligos, I'm red. I had 2 trades, 1 green, 1 big red trade on OLOX. Made a lot of mistakes on that second trade, but I've documented, I just reviewed it with everybody. I went through all the mistakes that I made on that trade, which were kind of a lot. But I think I understand. And actually, I already put the trades into TradeViz, so I'm going to write these notes in there. Because this was a doozy. Let's see. Yeah, it's all good, you know. I'm just gonna make sure that I document everything that I did wrong. Let's see. That way when I do my recap. All right, so just putting this into and let's see. So I set the wrong stop. I ignored the first exit indicator, which was price hesitation at 12. Price hesitation. It's crazy though. I know it stinks that I made a really bad trade, but honestly, I don't think I would have understood my mistake this deeply even 2 weeks ago. Went below. Correct stop was 1184. Okay, went below. I went below the correct stop. And then I ignored price hesitation at 11. And then I got out at wrong stop, but on time. Okay. And then what I should have done. So I'm putting in what I did wrong, and then I'm putting in what I should have done. That way, when I go back to look at my notes for my recap, I have, so sometimes I don't put any notes in when I'm tracking my trades, but on one like this where I feel like this is a real learning opportunity, I should have set the stop at the top, the resistance of the last move. And then I should have got out after to all right. Okay, so now I've got my notes in. Let's see, do I have to save this? I'm still learning this app. TraderView is a little bit too expensive for me because I'm not consistently profitable, so I've switched to TradesViz. I'm trying that out. And I think, I just want to make sure I've saved this properly. They do have some really interesting like analysis tools. So I'm really interested to see what it says. And I'm hoping that today for my recap, I can use some of the analysis tools. And did it not save that? I'm gonna, it did not save that. Okay, what? Okay, set my stop wrong at the support of the last move. Okay. I can't believe I have to retype this. Sorry, guys. I'm still learning this app. At least I can type pretty quickly. Okay. Okay. Should have done. Also, why do I keep, good thing I have Grammarly. I keep misspelling hesitation. It's not a difficult word. Okay. I should have set stop at 1184. And I should have seen price hesitation at 12, then sold when price dropped under entry. Stop. Okay. All right. So I don't analyze every trade to this extent, of course. You know, I don't think that's necessary or even honestly productive. However, I do think that it is really important to tag each trade, which is, I'm also doing that right now. And when there's a trade, good or bad, it might be a good trade or a bad trade, a good or bad trade that I feel has a significant learning opportunity, I definitely take the time to put something in my notes so that not only when I go back to do my recap, I can explain what I did, but also so that it reinforces the lesson. You know, sometimes it's a good trade. More often than not, though, it's the bad trade. I think for most of us, what's holding us back are our bad trades. But I need to be better about journaling my good trades too, because I feel like I might be missing good learning opportunities there. So let's go back and look at my first trade. And let's see what I did right there. So I'm going to remove these because this is getting confusing. And let's look at my first trade because that was a success. And I want to keep doing those. So, oops. Just so you guys know, my eyes are watering from allergies. I'm not crying over my trade. There's no crying in baseball and there's no crying in trading. Okay. So this was a break over high of day. Okay. So the resistance for the previous move becomes support. Okay, so I entered at 995 just when it broke over high of day. And I honestly got out when it hit. I got out. I didn't actually use exit indicators. I just kind of got out when I saw that it was green. And this is a chronic problem that I'm having where I'm cutting my winners too short. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the notes. Okay, so what I did, wrong. I didn't look for exit indicators. So what I should have done, let's use the proper verb. Okay, what I should have done is look for exit indicators. And that's basically what I did wrong. Okay, all right. So hopefully that reinforces a positive lesson on one and a negative lesson on the other. Thank you. The first trade was a good trade. I feel like that was solid. Yeah, I think, Christoph, we all suffer from this problem. And I tend to overanalyze my bad trades and not analyze my good trades enough. And so, because that was a good trade, but I didn't look for exit indicators. And I'm supposed to be looking for things like price hesitation or, the tape slowing down or red on the tape, stuff like that. Good morning. But yeah, I mean, I cut this winner off way too soon. Okay. I got out at 1024, way down here. I had all this room to go. And then this one, I let go way too long. But this one, I screwed up on the stop. So that was a problem. Yeah, I mean, it is, right? So this is the battle. This is the battle. And, we'll see if there is, good morning, Javar. We'll see if there is another opportunity to redeem myself, but I'm not going to revenge trade or, yeah, I learned that I revenge traded the other day, actually. I don't do it that often, but, it just never, revenge trading, I never end up going green. Okay, let's be honest. I always end up just red, So, and to be honest, like I had some good trading the last 2 days, especially after hours. So, like on Wednesday, my day flipped from red to green after hours. And but I wasn't revenge trading. I was just like, oh, I'm going to pop on, see if there's anything. There was. I took the opportunities. The same thing yesterday. I did a little after live stream trading and I was green. So I think as long as I'm not revenge trading, it's okay for me to, and I've been so rigid about so many things with my trading, like so many rigid rules. And it just keeps me in a state of anxiety. So if I see an opportunity, I will take it. But if I don't see an opportunity, I will not take it. I mean, and honestly, I was starting the day red already. My month is still red. I'm not holding out any hope that I'm going to flip green on the month. But if I see something, I will take it. But I'm not going to stress myself out about it. It is what it is. And this is the struggle. Like that's, I'm learning in public. This is the struggle for sure. So, but I'll just keep looking for opportunities for today. The market hasn't even opened yet. We've got another hour and a half before the market even opens. But yeah, it wasn't even stubborn or emotional. I had the wrong stop. That was the dumb part. I made, and this is one of the things that I'm kind of, realizing is that if you make, I might be getting the terms wrong, but if you make a mistake I'm not sure if I mean upstream or downstream, but like, because I set the wrong stop to begin with, every decision after that was going to be messed up. It's like if you select the wrong stock to begin with, then every decision after that is going to suffer, right? You've reduced your chances. Like I already had way reduced my chances of success by having the wrong stop and misunderstanding where the point of support should be. Like, so yeah, I think, I don't know if the right word is dependencies or upstream, downstream, or the right way to think about it, but I feel like if you start off on the wrong foot on the trade, the chances of success are pretty low. I feel like because I set the wrong stop to begin with, my chances of success were pretty low on that. REPL. Let's take a look. Let's see. REPL. Yeah, allergies are killing me, but I just don't want to take allergy meds because they make me so foggy and I feel like I can't trade. Okay, this is interesting. Let's take a look. It's easy to borrow. So I'm always a little cautious about that. And the float's high. So, yeah. And the relative volume's low. So I'm probably going to be, I probably won't get in on this. The outstanding shares is pretty high. But let's keep fighting the good fight, right? All right. So, I feel like there's a real balance between analyzing and then being able to shake it off. I did the analysis. Time to shake it off and move on, right? All right. So MASK didn't really go anywhere. Yeah, REPL, a little high for me. STG, I'm going to take that off the list. Yeah, REPL. Let's see. They plan to resubmit melanoma therapy application for FDA approval. I mean, that's news, but third try at FDA approval. I mean, that is news, right? Has anyone taken any good trades? I would love to hear about it. I need some good news. You guys got to give me your good news. Because I like hearing other people succeed. So that will boost my mood if I hear that other people are having, or learning opportunities. Maybe you had a bad trade, but you learned something. That's valuable too. So, yeah, OLOX. I'm not holding out hope on that. You know, look at the trend downward. Let's see. Yeah, I caught it right on the rollover. All right. REPL. I mean, I probably wouldn't trade this. But this is a clearer example, okay, where the resistance here is the support here. And that's, I feel so dumb because that's what I should have been doing on the last trade. But anyway, shaking it off. Shake it off. Okay, so yeah. NCT, NCT. NCT? So I will tell you why I wouldn't trade this. The total volume is very low. But when you say a long opportunity, do you mean like swing trading? Or do you mean like long, like to the upside, momentum trading? Because the relative volume is very high, but the total volume is really low. It's only 135,000. It's not even up to 500,000. Has nice low float, and no news today, but maybe you mean like a swing trade. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that for swing trading, that's a completely different approach. I mean, to be honest, I should probably be swing trading because I feel very comfortable with fundamental analysis. Like that's my whole professional career pretty much. But I just don't like the exposure of having my money tied up. I don't like that. I don't mind like long-term investing, having a long horizon, which is obviously something I've done for a long time, but that veers off into fundamental analysis. But Christoph, tell us why you think that it is a good buy. I'm curious. Let's analyze it. So when you guys drop these little nuggets of wisdom, you got to give a little explanation, right? Because that way we understand what your thought process is. So if I look at the company, I don't know why it's buffering here. I can't see what they do, so I'm not sure what they do. I can look on the internet. Let's see. NCT. Maritime Shipping and Vessel Management Company. That sounds good. That sounds really good. I've gone on MSC cruises, and they started off as a shipping company. I think MSC stands for like Mediterranean Shipping Company or something like that. And I really like their cruises. I've been on 2 of them. NCT. Okay. Yeah, so drop your explanation why, give us a reason what your reasoning is, what your logic is. So REPL. pretty much the same players today. ACC, is that L? Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Yeah, I don't really see much going on yet, but we'll see. I'm gonna look and see. Thinkorswim has their own, their own watch list for like what's moving in the market. I'm just going down that list to see. So HUBC, interesting. Okay, it's a penny stock, but it looks like it has strong upward movement. Look at that. Let's take a look. Hard to borrow. Okay, let me see. Let me move this to this list here. They have relative volume more than 5 times the 50-day average. They have a lot of, look at this, 300 million shares of total volume today. Their float's only like 1 million. What do? Cybersecurity. And they have news. Oh, it says, here's why. Here's why they're surging. And Andre Wang, an investor, filed an amended Securities and Exchange Commission disclosure revealing a 15.6 beneficial ownership stake in the Tel Aviv-based cybersecurity firm. Cybersecurity seems very relevant right now. Cybersecurity and drones. Let's see. Okay, I normally don't trade stocks this cheap, but it has strong upward momentum. Well, it's pulling back now. But I'm curious. I'm curious about this one. REPL is just kind of trading in this channel now. And the resistance became support. And that's what I screwed up on that last trade. So I really want to make sure I'm like watching ACCL. Ah, okay. Down 10 overnight. Okay. But why do you think it's going to... What is strong about the company, Chris? And I'm sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what's strong about the company CMND? Thanks, Aligos. Let's see what's going on. Ooh, okay. Let's take a look. What about the company's financial statement or business model or whatever makes you think that it's going to go back up? So Clearmind they filed a patent. That's always good news. I've traded Clearmind before. So we have support way down here, but let's take a look. That's the other thing that's kind of putting me off from swing trading a little bit because it takes a lot more fundamental analysis. But I feel like if that's your approach and it works for you, like, I mean, I would like to get into swing trading. It's just that I don't have the time to devote to the fundamental analysis while I'm also trying to learn day trading. Because, that's a lot more time consuming. But, you can always set up, like, there's so many things you can set up to kind of make it easier. Wow, look at this. The tape is going crazy on Clearmind. Resistance at 425, a lot of topping tails. The volume's pulling back a little bit. It's really testing that level. Okay, so that was, I capped it just because it was moving so quickly. I put a stop in because if it popped up, I wanted it to catch it, but I wasn't confident it was going to pop up. But okay, so I'm going to say, so this is CMND, high of day breakout, and I'm going to say CMND. I'm calling that a momentum re-entry. That's what I've been calling that when I get back in. Because I'm like, oh, it is continuing higher. Nice. Okay. Thanks, Aligos. Did you get in? Did you make this one of your 2 trades? Because I know you only do 2 trades. All right, so I had a high of day breakout. That's what I'm calling this first one, where it broke this level of resistance. But you could also call it a flat top breakout. Sometimes I feel like it could be 2 different types of setups. because it tapped this level and then it kind of tapped this level and then it broke out. And I like those where I see the volume moving down a little bit, but it keeps tapping the same level and then it breaks out. Same thing like right here. This is kind of like the volume's starting to dip a little bit, but I'm not. So, and also now there's resistance at $5, right? See right here. So now this is where I got it right this time. The level of support here is the level of resistance from the last move. That's what I screwed up on that one OLOX move. But here I'm seeing like definitely resistance under $5 for sure. I'll look at the daily chart a little bit more closely. So now we're up here. It's trading up here now. Yeah, look at that. $5 is definitely, you know, so I don't know if I should look for a break of the whole dollar. That seems pretty clear to me that you didn't get in. I was over my checking account activity. I know. It's like, you're like, I have real life stuff to do. I can't just trade all day. Yeah. I do that after my live stream. I go over I do my personal financial stuff. Okay, so now I was thinking maybe a break over 5, but it's pulling back. It still could break over 5, but now I have the support and resistance correct. So the resistance of the last move is the support of this move. A minute. Trying to bring this over here. So yeah, this could possibly be like, if it breaks over 5, I might get back in. But we'll see. OLOX is, yeah, still kind of trading in that channel. So one of the things I'm really looking at, guys, is points of support and resistance lately. And so I was kind of thinking, oh, it might break out over 5, which it still might break out over 5. But if it drops below the previous level of resistance, I'm going to have less confidence that it's going to pop back up. So we'll kind of see what happens with that. That's interesting. So it just taps that level of previous level of resistance. And so HUBC, okay, it did break high of day. Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, so it popped back below this level of resistance, popped up, popped down. So I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, so Clearmind tapped this level, and now it's headed back up. But I won't get in unless it breaks over 5. Because I'm looking for, I used to trade pullbacks, but I don't anymore. I learned my lesson. I was right 53% of the time, but when I was wrong, I was really wrong. Really, really wrong. So, am I a market maker? No, I am not a market maker. I think don't you have to be a company to do that? Or am I wrong? Hello, by the way, No Manual. Hello. But no, I'm not a market maker. No, I'm just a new trader, learning in public, not consistently profitable yet, but I am doing it all in public. Well, not all. I mean, I trade after my live stream, but I'm live streaming every day. So on this one, I wouldn't consider, I'm really working on trades where it breaks a level of resistance. So here I wouldn't get in unless it did break briefly over 5, but I would be looking for a break over 5 with some confirmation that it's at that level. That's what I'm looking for. So my strategy is requiring quite a bit of patience. So OLOX, which is where I made my big mistake today, that's not doing anything. HUBC, let's see. REPL, it's kind of trading in that channel. MASK, I'm guessing this is VWAP chop, even though I don't have VWAP up. So just trying to be patient. I am red on the day, so I'm hoping. Hi, Emmanuel. Nice to meet you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to, we have a nice little community here. So, let's see. Yeah, we have a nice little community here. We have like, everyone's super helpful here. And, you know, yeah, we just have a really great group. Okay, so NCT, I'm going to take that off my list, Christoph, but you got to tell us why you were thinking of that as a long-term buy. That I'm curious. MASK, it's not really, it's just kind of trading sideways. REPL, this looks like it could break high of day. It tested that level twice. But for me, the relative volume is really low and the float's kind of high. So I'm going to take that one off the list, even though that's kind of popping. OLOX, as you guys who have been on my live stream this morning know, I made a terrible mistake on that earlier, but I'm not going to revenge trade it. HUBC, it did have some upward momentum, but and it has a really low float. The relative volume's good, but I generally don't trade stocks that low. So I'm going to take that off my list. So now CMND broke this level of support, so that gives me a lot less confidence that it's going to pop back up over 5. Let's see. Nice. I know. No, I know. I'm not putting you on the spot, but I'm challenging all of us to ask why, right? I'm asking, because, right? That's how we learn, right? I mean, I want you guys to challenge me. I've had some of my viewers ask me, they try to be really nice about it, which I appreciate. Everybody should be respectful and kind on my chat. But they'll be like, why? So Raven, why did you do that? And I'm like, then I look at it more closely and I'm like, I don't know why I did that. Trump tweet about psychedelics. I know, right? I think that, it's good for us to ask, like, why? Right. Because the thing is, there's some famous quote. Okay, it's attributed to Socrates. The unexamined life is not worth living. That's attributed to Socrates. And I feel like, it stinks that I made that big red trade. Like that was a dumb mistake. But no, Emmanuel, it is think or swim. It's I'm a new trader. I'm not consistently profitable, so I am using a commission-free broker. Maybe down the road, once I'm profitable, I will make, some changes. But for now, this is think or swim, and I have customized the layout. So on the charts tab, I customized my layout to fit my style. But it's funny. I had somebody else ask me one day, I think, if it was Ninja Trader. So it must look similar to this. But yeah, no, it's think or swim. And that's what I started with. I started with think or swim. I tried Webull, didn't like it. And not because there's anything wrong with Webull. I just don't want to trash Webull at all. It's just for whatever reason, I just couldn't seem to get the hang of the tools and the layout. And I think I just got so used to think or swim and I just really like it. So I think, everyone has, different things work for different people, so I'm not criticizing Webull at all. Like, but I just couldn't get the feel for it. I tried for like 3 or 4 months and I just couldn't get the feel for it because I wanted to be able to trade from 4 to 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Couldn't get the feel for it. And I was like, nah, it's not working for me. But this is think or swim. So, yeah, I was hoping this would break over 5, but, and also, I'm going to be taking less trades, although today I've had 6 trades. Now, unfortunately, no, wait, I've had 4 trades. 4 trades? Wait, 5. Yeah. I've had 4 trades. Unfortunately, my one red trade took out everything from the other 3 trades. So I am red still on the day, but I'm going to transfer my trades to tradesviz. Why is this not? There we go. I'm going to transfer my trades. I was using TraderView, and again, there's nothing wrong with TraderView except that I'm not profitable. So I'm using tradesviz now, and because it's a more affordable option. Fabio Valentino, I have not heard of him. I will write that down in my handy journal here. See, keep my notes. What kind of a trader is he? What's his strategy? Oh, okay. I haven't delved into futures yet. I would like to, but I'm trying to get the hang of small cap momentum first. And once I really feel like I understand price action, trend line, support, resistance, I'm reading the tape, I'm reading the the level 2 more effectively, then I want to branch out into futures for sure. That is absolutely something I want to branch out into, but I think one thing at a time. I'll check them out. Like I said, guys, I have my list of stuff that I check out, and if I don't have time at night because I have other commitments, then I do try to catch up on the weekends and check these things out. Because I have definitely subscribed to a lot of the stuff you guys have recommended. Unfortunately, there's only so many hours in the day. I wish I had more hours because I have other things that I do. HKIT, let's take a look. Okay. So hard to borrow, but it's a hard to borrow. Oh, it had a trading halt already. And when it's pre-market, those usually aren't volatility halts, right? Those are usually for news. Oh, okay. I will definitely check that out. He trades order flow and deep charts. Okay. Yeah, I would like to get into. I thought scalping gold futures would be really interesting. And so, I just have, I just wish there was more time in the day. But I will definitely check that out. There's a World Trading Championship. I heard about trading competitions. That sounds really fun. Like when I get profitable, I think I would be interested in that. That sounds like a really great thing. I'm like competitive by nature. I was an amateur athlete and I coach athletes at night and on the weekends. And I had no idea there were trading competitions until I heard about that recently. Really? Okay. Very interesting. I'm going to have to check that out. Yeah, I'm competitive by nature. I love competing. I competed for 11 years as an athlete and okay, I'll definitely check that out. I had no idea until literally just a few days ago that I heard a YouTuber, I think it was on Relentless Trader, or I don't know, one of the YouTubers that I was watching the other day, they were saying that they had traded in a trading competition, or maybe it was something I read on Substack. Anyway, someone mentioned this and I was like, what? There are trading competitions? This sounds interesting. Okay. Yeah, right? I mean, that's what I was doing this morning. Before I logged onto the live stream and started the live stream, I was watching YouTube videos. I mean, that's the thing. When I'm doing my yard work, I'm listening to YouTube videos. When I'm cleaning my house, I'm listening to YouTube videos. When I'm driving in my car. Okay, so HKIT, it popped up, but then it just kind of made a round trip. And honestly, a pre-market halt doesn't sound great. Let's see. I wonder what the code was. I'm just looking it up. So it was T1, T3, which those codes, I think those are news. I'm always leery when something halts pre-market because that is usually news it's not always a good thing, you know? Wow, that's so cool, Christoph. Okay. That's really cool. Honestly, I'm very interested in this. Let's see, PLCE. Because like I said, I am competitive by nature. And of course, I feel like a lot of people that are drawn to trading are competitive. Let's see, PLCE popped up. What's this all about? Let's take a look. Okay, so it's in my price range. I like this price range where it's over $1 but under $10. I feel like I'm not taking on too much risk. The float is a little bit high, but well, this is shares outstanding. Of course, the float could be less, right? Hard to borrow. I don't see news. This is the Children's Place. Is that the clothing store? Okay. I honestly didn't buy my kids clothes there. They were really expensive. I always bought their stuff at Target. Target always had cute, trendy stuff, and kids grow like so fast. Okay, so let's see, a high of 618. The relative volume is up to 3 times the 50-day average. Oh, look at this gap. That's interesting. Okie doke. That happened back in December. I wonder what that is. The thing is, I don't really see news. It looks like it's going to test this level. Well, Christoph, I just want to say that is excellent. I feel like competing is so good for us because it forces us to focus our attention and really dial into what we want to achieve. It just gives us like a finite goal, you know? Oh, Scooter, that's cool. Because yes, you do prop trading. Okay. I think that's really, really good for learning. Really, really good for learning. Like, I'm very intrigued by this competing thing. Because I am like, I love competitions. Yeah. So do you find, Scooter, how often do you compete in them, or, and how often do you do that? Okay, so this is interesting. It tapped this level, but these are, it's got topping tails, and these are red candles. I just think it's weird that it popped up like this on Zero News. I always find that strange when they pop up on Zero News. And Clearmind. So I'm really working with levels of resistance and support this week. That is my weekly goal, and once it broke this level of, it was formerly resistance, now support, and it tapped this level here, but once it broke that level, I really did lose confidence that it was going to go back up to 5. So that's helping me identify when it's time to kind of like say, okay, this stock isn't doing so great. I can't believe, now I'm so mad at myself because that OLOX trade was so preventable. So preventable. But okay, that's how it is when you're learning, right? Okay, so HKIT round trip, I'm going to take that off. OLOX, I'm only leaving it on because I'm going to use it. I'm going to talk about it in my recap after the live stream. Children's Place. Not really getting why they're popping up. MASK, I'm going to take that off. That's just trending sideways. And I don't use VWAP right now, but I'm guessing that this is some chop. Just guessing. Really? Ooh, Scooter. That'll be interesting. Really? Okay. Is that like every broker or a Thinkorswim or? That sounds interesting. Like just more stocks in general will be available. That is really interesting. Well, look at how tiny these amounts are, 13 cents. I'm guessing, look at 38,000. Whenever I see a really small, like tiny penny stock, I'm like, you start to see these massive orders on here, 27,000 shares. Like this is where I feel like the level 2 really comes in handy, is just kind of getting a handle on the share size. Yeah, I don't know anything about competing, but I just feel like in general, I don't know anything about competing with stocks specifically, but I feel like in general, competition, it's not even about winning, it's about improving. I feel like every time I competed as an athlete, because I was an older athlete, like I made a huge learning leap in my journey. And so I'm very intrigued. Very, very intrigued. I could see that helping me a lot. So this had a huge jump up, right? But now this is where I got confused with OLOX. It popped up here and then it broke over, but it never really got over this level as resistance. It never really created a floor of support and it popped back down. That should have been my clue for OLOX. Okay, blue chip stocks. Got it. Okay, well, that makes sense, right? But I just feel like things are going to break wide open next month with the PDT rule changing. And maybe that is, so I wonder, I mean, I'm just making this up in my head as you're saying this, but the PDT rule, I feel like, is going to mostly affect this, it's smaller retail investors, right? And I'm thinking that maybe the large caps want to get in on that. Prior to trading, I worked for the federal government for 17 years in finance and accounting related positions. And the last 12 years I was in federal contracting. So I did federal contracts. And prior to that, I had jobs related. I worked in a tax accounting firm. I had a bookkeeping business. I did do other things, but by and large, most of my professional experience has been in finance and accounting related positions or adjacent, like contracting, of course, having to do government contracts. I ran the credit card program for my region for a while. I ran, I did all finance and accounting related stuff. I got my MBA back in 2002. And in college, I did internships at banks. Not really exciting, but I did 3 summer internships, paid internships. I worked at banks in the summer. So the majority of my professional experience has been unsolicited advice. Sure. Sure. Unsolicited advice is always welcome. I mean, is there any other kind? You're concerned that you might make a bad trade to win a comp. That's an interesting point of view, Scooter. Like, you're saying that the pressure of competing might force you to make bad decisions. Is that what you're saying? Like, which I can understand. It's like you might overcommit on a trade thinking that is that what you're saying? But that's a really interesting point. The pressure of competition could cut both ways, right? For sure. All right, so DEVS, I don't trade stocks this cheap usually, but I think it's interesting to watch the action on the level 2 because you get big orders, you know. But I saw one for 38,000, but now I'm not really seeing that many big orders, which I think is kind of interesting. The news is kind of blah. Like DevStream, XCF Global, and Southern Energy Renewables confirmed 3-party business combination remains on track. That's like saying, I'm still alive, guys. We're still on track. That's kind of anticlimactic news. But let's see. You like to win. Don't we all, Scooter? Don't we all? Yes. Don't we all like to win? Isn't that why we're doing this, right? Yes. Spidey, you're leaving me on a cliffhanger. What's your unsolicited advice? I'm curious. Now you've left us on a cliffhanger. It's like those it's like serial mysteries where, you know, they end every episode on a cliffhanger. Use my experience to trade penny stocks. Okay, think about it. Think about it this way. Every time a stock moves, there's a transaction happening in the background. So think about the life cycle of a transaction. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean, so I need a little bit more information. So, but how is trading penny stocks? If I see really good price action on a penny stock, I'll take it. But in order for me to make anything on this, I mean, I'd have to have a larger share size. And I guess I could do that. But I don't think this is like super clean price action. This looks really choppy to me. I guess on the 5-minute chart, it might look cleaner. Yeah, it looks cleaner on the 5-minute chart. But this looks really choppy to me. But, okay, but what is distinctive about penny stocks that you're saying it's better to use my experience to trade penny stocks? I'm putting you on the spot because I'm kind of curious what's different about that, because every time a stock moves, there are transactions happening in the background on all stocks, right? I guess the reason I'm not crazy about penny stocks is that I feel like it's just such a small movement. And also there's just a lot of, I see them really choppy. I see a lot of choppiness on them. Sometimes, though, I did lose a really good opportunity a few weeks ago. I was being too rigid about it. And I said, oh, there was this penny stock that had awesome price action. Like, I wish I could remember the ticker. And I kept saying it in my live stream, like, wow, this looks really good. I wish it wasn't a penny stock. If I see something that looks really good, I'm going to trade it. But I just generally, Plus, the relative volume on this is really low. It's only 0.2 times its 50-day average. Right. Okay. They're always raising money. So who do you think they get the money from? Us, the retail trader. Well, penny stocks are always, when you say penny stock, anything under 10. Oh, okay. No, yeah, I don't. I was saying more like under $1, you know? And I know that that's technically not the definition of a penny stock. I think most people say it's like under $3 or, let's see. I know Russ Cameron, one of his classes goes over this penny stock definition. But when I say penny stock, I mean generally stocks under $1. Okay, so The SEC formally categorizes some securities priced under $1 as penny stocks. The broader financial industry typically applies the term to any stock under $5. So I'm usually, when I say penny stock, I'm usually referring to a stock under $1. And, you know, but when they're raising money, do you mean like when they're raising money, you're talking about like an initial IPO or issuing additional shares, correct? Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Right. So yeah, so I'm usually talking about stocks under $1. Like I like to trade stocks between like $2 and say like 10 or $12. That's kind of like my sweet place. When I look back at my data, I feel like that's where I'm doing the best. So, and that's the other thing too is like maybe someone else might kill it on penny stocks, but when I went back and looked at my data on my setups, Spidey, I was like, okay, everyone says the bull flag pullback is like so easy, but I'm not getting it. So it doesn't matter how easy it is for everybody else, right? It really matters like, is it easy for me? But yeah, no. So I think yeah. So for me, generally when I say penny stock, I probably should stop using the term penny stock because there is some debate about that. But stocks under $1. I generally don't trade stocks under $1 unless I see like really clean price action. But thank you for calling me out on that. I think I should probably clarify my terms. Yeah, I should probably clarify my terms. Oh, like when they're doing offerings. Yeah. Well, I mean, so you're saying I should look at penny stocks when they're doing their offerings and buy like buy the stocks directly, like initially. Yeah, I don't do that I don't do that. Yeah. I mean, I prefer if I were going to I don't know, I feel like that's really risky. That takes a lot of yeah, I think so. That's why I'm like trying to clarify. Yeah, no, maybe I think I do misunderstand you. I'm sorry about that. That's what's hard about the chat because, you know, it's kind of like difficult sometimes to understand get the meaning. So, but yeah, maybe we'll figure it out. IOTR. I feel like that has been coming up lately too. Ooh, okay, IOTR. This looks like it could be interesting. Low float, 2.5 million shares. The relative volume is really good. Hard to borrow. Let's see. Does it have any news? IOTR. IOTR. It doesn't really have specific news, but that's okay. All right. Let's take a look. So right now, it's hitting resistance at $5. There is a window back to 7, but I don't know. Okay, all right. If this breaks 5, I could be interested. If this breaks 5, I could be interested. Right. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, but you know what's really weird is the news seems to be mattering less and less. I see stocks that are moving and there's no news. And then I see stocks with great news and nothing happens. And when I was watching Ross's recap the other day, he was saying the same thing. He was like, he's seeing a lot of stocks coming up because, he's trading small cap momentum during the pre-market, and he's seeing a lot of stuff come up without news. And I'm like, yeah. So I've been less rigid about the news, but I brought a seltzer with me so I wouldn't have to take a break if I didn't need to take a break. All right. I'll have to get more tea. I'll get more tea after 10 a.m. I'm so obsessed with seltzer lately. Like this one's blackberry. Love it. Okay. Yep. They have to file that's the shelf registration that you were talking about, right? Yes. Like they can file their shelf registration and then they have the opportunity to sell the shares whenever they want. Is that what you're talking about? That's why you were talking about the baby shelf registration, right? I mean, again, I don't know a lot about it, but I have a basic understanding. But that's the thing. There's so much to learn, right? All right. So actually, this is the top of the last move. So that could be resist. This was the top of the last move. This could be support on this move. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot to learn. Like I'm still don't the bell soon. Oh, okay. 20 seconds to the bell, guys. Good luck, everybody. Good luck. So I am going to switch this to percent gainers. All right, let's see what's going on. Woohoo! Hold that thought, Spidey. I'll check in after I take a look at what's going on. Let's see what the situation is. Huh. Oops. My scanners. All right. MX. A little high in the float, but let's see. MX is a little high in the float. Oh, I must have been looking at this at some other point in time. And this halted up. Okay. Oh, a lot's popping up. I'm going to take Children's Place off. I'm feeling like PRFX. It's a lot going on. Okay. There's a lot going on today. This is good. This is nice. Some of these came up earlier in the pre-market, you know. I don't trade the opening range breakout, but what I learned from trying the opening range breakout is I really got a much better understanding of what's happening in the first, 15 minutes of the market open. It really helped me understand that a lot better. RXT. I've traded that before, but this, again, really high float. I'm going to stay away from that. PRFX. Yeah, I'll let you guys know if I branch out into Discord. I'm not... BSAT. You can always email me, trade.with.raven@gmail.com. You can email me too. Feel free to do that, Spidey, if you want to explain it in more detail. TNMG. Let's see. All right, there's a lot going on. All right, so let me kind of get organized here because there's a lot popping up on the scanner. But I don't like halts. I'm going to take MX off. I don't want to get stuck in a halt. Don't have any desire for that today. WNW. So these are all pretty low float. I'm going to take DEVS off because that's really under $1. And TNMG. So VSAT, yes. Oh, that's $81. I'm taking that off, obviously. TNMG, it's just about $1, but it has low total volume. So I'm going to take that off. I'm going to try to stick to things that have some volume to them. So PRFX. So yeah, I really feel like learning the opening range breakout, I didn't like that setup, but it really helped me understand what's going on the first 5 to 15 minutes of the market. Here, I'll put all right, so CODX still climbing, huh? Let's see. CODX. I'm just curious at this point. What? So we're past the first 5 minutes. So this is the 5-minute opening range on CODX. The problem is it is over $10, which kind of makes me a little bit Spidey 18. All right, if I do end up getting a Discord, I will definitely look you up on there. So the only thing is that I just feel really exposed when it's over $10. I'm trying to keep things under 10. CMND. Clear Mind really didn't give a big push. IOTR. Nope. So I'm kind of curious how the S&P is doing. So let me take a look at that. All right. So that's good. For those of you who trade things like, I know. Exactly. Yeah, it's going through the roof, right? CODX is just going through the roof. Oh, you're in a trade, Legos. SMCI. Let's take a look. Nice. Nice. You're in at 35. Okay. So you got in right about here. Nice. Wow, you're over $1 a share. That is sweet. Yeah, anything Ebola seems to be very relevant right now. All right, so WNW, WNW, not really. Not feeling it. IOTR, I'm gonna take that off my list. Clearmind is making a run for it. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. So this is the 5-minute, the top of the 5-minute opening range, but there's a lot of topping tails here. I'm not loving that. Whereas over here, it was a little bit, I don't know, less choppy looking. It's long. This could be a long doji. OLOX popped up and then down. PRFX. Let's see. Right. They might sell more shares. So use the 5-minute breakout strategy. Okay. I mean, that the opening range breakout, I had abysmal results with it and it really stressed me out, but it taught me a lot about looking at the action the first 5 minutes and the first 15 minutes. And I think I'm definitely incorporating that into my breakout strategy. Like here, Clearmind, okay, did break out over its 5-minute range, but it looks really choppy to me. Doesn't look smooth to me. So let's see. ASTO? ASTC, sorry. All right. I traded this. Did I trade this the other day? I did. I think I traded this the other day. It must have been a lot lower the other day. Yeah, look at that. Oh my God. That's crazy. Halted up, of course. Astrotech stock is up over 1,100% this week. Wow. But it doesn't say why. Why is it going up? That's crazy. Look at that. That's nuts. Aligos. $1.13 a share. That's awesome. Woohoo. That's awesome. Well, Spidey, I think I don't think I do understand the opening range breakout because I wasn't successful at it. I think if I understood it, I would have been more successful at it. I think that's, but the data was telling me that I just wasn't getting it, So learning it was very helpful. Palantir is on fire. Wait, wasn't that one that you were watching, Scooter? Let's check. Wow. What? Look at this run up from 149 all the way up to 152. That's crazy. That's crazy. Silver is kind of down. Just looking at different things here. Silver's down. The S&P's up. Gold. So CODX popped up and then just kind of pulled right back. Round trip on that. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, Palantir, look at that. What sector is Palantir? Isn't that one of the big tech Magnificent Seven? Or, yep, I think they're one of the Magnificent Seven, right? Yes. That is the advantage to large caps. 100%. 100%. They have more predictable price action. They are definitely less likely to drop on you. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah, look at SMCI. Is it going to break out for another high of day? Wow, I feel like there's a lot going on for a Friday. But okay, so PRFX kind of. So yeah, I don't think I really understand the opening range breakout very well because okay. Okay, yeah, it sounds like yeah, no, I was thinking I thought you meant the opening range breakout setup. Which is a setup that I did try recently, Okay, so Palantir is pulling back. Let's see. OLOX is still moving. WNW. Okay, WNW. Oh no, it just doesn't look smooth. Like, I know I'm red, but I don't want to be stressed out and get deeper into being red. I'm not going to take something just because there's a lot going on, When I trade higher price stocks like Palantir and stuff like that, I'll trade like 5 shares or 1 share or something like that. Okay, so WNW looked like it had potential, but then, see, it's already like, looks kind of choppy to me. Wow, SMCI is still climbing. Wow. It's at a really deep level too, huh? Look at that. Look at all those orders. A ton of orders at 5105, 5101. They have news. Let's see. Super Microcomputer and Hewlett Packard Enterprise were surging early on Friday. Earnings from artificial intelligence server peer Dell Technologies have investors excited about what could come next for hardware stocks. Super Micro shares were up 8.1%, while HPE was rising 11.8% in the market. Okay. But it doesn't really give, am I crazy? But I don't really see concrete news there. But that is awesome price action. Forget the news. That is awesome price action. Yeah. So if I switch to the 5-minute chart, this would be the top of the 15-minute opening range. This is like really nice price action. Yeah, look at this. If I were going to trade something like this, I would reduce my shares, obviously. $10 shares. I would do 10. If I were going to trade something like this. It's just got such clean price action. Look at that. It's so clean. I wonder if there'll be resistance at 50. Yeah, if I was going to trade something like this, I'm going to watch it a little bit. If it pops up, I might get in because with 10 shares, you know, I just really like the price action on it. It's just so, like, this is what I like to see. That's so nice and clean. And when you look at the 5-minute chart, it's just, you know, but the volume is decreasing as it moves up. So the volume has decreased significantly, and it is looking like a pullback on the 5-minute. So this pullback on the 1-minute looked like, you know, but I generally trade on the 1-minute. I look at level 2, the tape, and the chart. I used to have a million indicators on my chart, and I took them all off recently because I was honestly getting too distracted by all the indicators, and I wasn't paying attention to the fundamentals. So I use the tape, the level 2, and the chart primarily. And I'm just trying to get really, really good at the fundamentals. You know, I was distracted by my MACD, my VWAP, my 9 EMA, my 20 EMA. I had like too many things on my chart. I was looking at RSI. I was looking at average true range. It was like just too much. The best indicators, guys. Yeah, and I felt like I was missing the fundamentals. And I just really wanted to force myself to understand price action. So 2 weeks ago, I started taking stuff off my charts, and I just decided level 2, that's the depth of market here. Level 2, see right here, level 2. That's here where all the orders are, the bid and the ask. So, and it shows HG. Nice. Nice. 59 cents a share. Woohoo. I think we've had 2 people trading this now, right? So I'm watching it. I'm looking to see if it's going to break high of day, but I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to break high of day. Yeah, so level 2 here, this is where all the orders to buy or sell are. And again, I'm not an expert, I'm a new trader, but this is more the future, right? The tape is what's actually happening. These are all the orders coming through currently. The level 2 is people on the ask. They're people that have orders. They want to sell their shares. The people on the bid are people that want to buy shares. So I do watch that, but I watch the tape. I watch the level 2, especially the top of the ask, and I watch the price action. Oh, it looks like SMCI might be going for a high of day breakout. Oh, I love that when you guys compliment each other. I love that. I love the support. So it's testing this level right here, right around $48. So here you can see the orders for $48.93. Now we see more green on the tape at $47.82, $47.84. So I look at here and of course the price action. So I use the charts on Thinkorswim has scanners. They have a scanner section and you can set up scanners. I should do a video on that. Oh, hold on. I will answer that question in a second. It's really testing that level. See, these are the trades that I like. It's testing this level of resistance, and I'm looking for a breakout over that level. Although there are a lot of topping tails, so that could signal a reversal. So I'm not going to get my hopes up. But you can see there are a lot of orders. I don't know if people think it's going to break 50. I don't know that. Oh, it's breaking over that level. One candle confirmed. Okay, now I'm going to get in. Oh, I'm going to get stopped out, I think. So if it drops down to the low of this candle here, sorry, this candle, then I would definitely get out. This is why I only traded 10 shares. What? Scooter? That's amazing. $4 a share? That's awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Eight oh three, 4, 4806, 4807, 4. So I'm watching the top of the level 2. So now it's just kind of trending sideways. So I just want to get out at break even, to be honest, at this point. 48. Although that's a good sign. It's a higher low, right? This is a slightly higher low. This is a higher low. That could be a good sign. Okay. I just wanted to get out of break even. All right. I made 2 cents a share. Okay, that's fine. 2 cents a share. Yeah, it feels like it's trending sideways. Yes, the lows were higher. It might keep grinding higher, but the volume's low. So I just wanted to get out without any damage. So on that one, it was green. SMCI. And I was looking for high of day breakout, but it keeps testing that level. I feel like it might grind higher and it might break out, but I'm just not willing to, Thanks. Yeah, creepy crawly action. Yeah, that's the thing. I wanted to get get out of it. Yeah. TY sold too early. It's still going. Oh, isn't that the worst when you sell too early? Yeah. So this one, I felt like it might keep going up, but there it goes. There it goes. But I just wasn't willing to take that chance. Ah, interesting. See, I know I was holding my breath too. What I've been doing also is, even though I took all the indicators off my charts, when I go back and analyze my trades, I look, I have been looking at it with the indicators on to kind of see if the indicators would have helped me or not helped me, because I think what I was doing was, not only was I relying on the indicators too much, but I was looking for the answer I wanted. All right. Well, guys, it's after 10 a.m. and it's the weekend. So thank you so much for a wonderful chat today, guys. Very active chat, lots of learning. Boo, I'm red on the day. Boo, I'm red on the month. But I'm going to say that the big win of the month is how much learning I have done. Like, an incredible amount of learning. So hopefully that will translate into profits in June. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So have a great weekend, you guys. Happy trading. And I will see you guys on Monday. I'm traveling next week, but I will be trading from home on Monday. And then Tuesday is a no trade day, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I'll be trading from Vegas. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.